Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the interior and exterior, the inside and outside of my police station. I shouldn't have to tell you that if you want to follow this video along, you should probably already have this police station that I have on the screen in front of you built already. If you haven't, don't worry. All you have to do if you want to follow this along is go to the card system or the description below, follow the link to this police station tutorial, complete that. It'll probably take you anywhere between half an hour and 45 minutes, and once you've done that you can come back to this and build the inside and outside along with us. That's pretty much all I have to say. Remember, card system, description below. That's where I'll be leaving the link to that tutorial. If you want to make this along with me, here's what you're going to need. We actually need so much stuff that we're going to have to do this in stages. So, grab yourself some stone slabs, then grab yourself some yellow carpet, some dark grey carpet, then we'll need some polished andesite. We'll also need some cyan stained clay. Also, grab some stone bricks, and you'll also need some block of quartz. Oh, and you will also need some, if I can find it, some jungle leaves. This is just for the outside part, and this is what we're going to be doing first of all. We're going to take care of the outside part of the police station, because why not? So, once you have all of those materials, come all the way up to the top front of your police station. You want to be just above the entrance right here, and it's important that you're just above the entrance because, can you see where we have these cyan lines, these cyan stained clay lines, like connecting the top of the station to the bottom of the station? Well, we want to take this row of 6 cyan, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we want to follow this row of 6 along, and we want to count in, and we want to find the third row of andesite in the roof. I'll explain. So we want to come and find the third row of andesite following this line, that's 1, 2, 3, and we want to place a slab, and we want to count from this slab, and we want to go over to the right by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it wants to be in line with this row of 6 that we have at the front here, just at the front of the station. That's important because otherwise this thing will be unbalanced. And what we then want to do is we want to take this very first slab, and looking down on it like this, we want to do 2 up left diagonals from it. That's 1, 2. We then want to go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do 2 upright diagonals, 1, 2, right by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2, down by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 bottom left diagonal to give you this. What we now want to do is draw an H in the center of this, and the only way to do this and have it look right is we want to connect the 2 bottom corners together with a row of yellow carpet diagonally like this, then add an additional layer of yellow carpet on top. Then take the top 2 middle 2 yellow carpets and extend them going forward by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to take those last 2 rows of yellow carpet and extend them left and right each by 2. That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then fill the rest of this area in here with dark grey walls. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. So that is what we want to have for the helipad. I know that that kind of looks like an I, but it does look like an H if you look at it this way, and that's the helipad. We're eventually going to be building a police helicopter on top of the roof. Now, let's talk about the rest of the outside of the police station. So we want to do a couple of things. We have to add some parking bays and some hedging. First we'll add the hedging. So take out your jungle leaves, and we want to place jungle leaves all the way around the inside of the police station. So in between the andesite like ridges and stuff that we have for the police station, you can see what I'm talking about. In between like the rows and rows of like andesite and quartz, we just want to fill these in between with our jungle leaves, and we just want to go all the way around the outside of the base of the police station, and we just want to fill it in like this. So we just want to have something, and by the way, you want to leave this corner block alone. It might seem as though you want to go around this, but you don't, and we just want to have something which should look a little bit like that, and that just brightens things up a little bit and it makes it look a little bit nicer. Now what we want to do is this. So in this corner here, in between like the right hand side of the police station, the front part of the police station, we want to knock out this block, and we want to knock out the 6 blocks below it, like coming out in front of the station. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 in total, really. Fill this in with andesite. We then want to go to the right and we want to knock out the next 4 blocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill that in with cyan stained clay. Knock out the next block, throw andesite in it. Knock out the next 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place cyan stained clay in there. Knock out the next block, place andesite. Knock out the next 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place cyan stained clay. Knock out the next block, place andesite. Knock out the next 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Place cyan stained clay in it, and then knock out the next block, place in polished andesite. And what we now want to do is this. So take that last andesite and come in towards the station, knock out this row and place andesite in it. Then, coming all the way across to the left, destroy all of the grass blocks coming to the left, and connect that right hand side all the way over to this left hand side, like this. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. And what we now want to do is we want to connect each one of those andesites together. So we want to connect the outer layer of andesites to that long row of andesites that we have at the top. So we just want to make some parking bays like this. Those are evenly spaced parking bays. And what we'll also do is we will empty these out. We'll empty out each one of these individual bays. It will take a second or two because, of course, anytime that you've got to destroy the ground and then throw something in it, it does usually take a decent amount of time, especially if it's any sort of area whatsoever. So we have to destroy all of these, and we just have to place some cyan stained clay. And believe it or not, these are actually, these will actually fit, pretty much fit, almost fit actually. I do have to make them slightly longer. These will fit the police cars that I've designed. I've already designed police cars. You won't see them on the channel for a little bit yet. You might even see them tomorrow, actually. That's probably a lie. You'll probably see them tomorrow. But I have designed police cars, and they'll fit in these parking bays because they are only 4 blocks wide. And those parking bays are just right there in front of the right-hand side of the police station. What we now want to do is this. We want to destroy the 4 rows in front of the entrance. Oh, here we go. This is easier. You can see where we have these 2 stone brick stairs here at the front of the entrance. We want to destroy 4 rows coming out in front of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to replace those with polished andesite. Then what we want to do is we want to destroy the 2 rows left and right of these andesites. Replace that with quartz. And what we now want to do is we want to go around and we want to put a border around the police station. And we want to make sure that the police station has 3 rows left around it at all times. So just to give you an example, this is how it's going to work. We're going to have a border of quartz, like coming all the way around it. And this doesn't include in the rows that you want to leave the police station alone. So we want to have 3 empty rows like around the police station at all times, not including the quartz. The quartz doesn't count. So we want to just make sure that we have 3 rows, and that does mean that we have to take this in mind. So this will be like 1, 2, 3 rows alone, and then we want to knock out the 4th. So we just do want to go all the way around, and we do want to make sure that we at all times leave 4 or leave 3 rows alone as we do knock out all of this area around the police station. So that's 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4, and that's 1, 2, 3. Yep, so we just had to knock out the 4th block. And now all we have to do is just drag this all the way up to the front, and we just have to connect it to is it here? I'm going to start from the other side just to make sure. There we go. So this is actually going to be the quartz border that we're going to have going all the way around the station. And we'll fill this in with quartz, but not just yet. And we are also going to do a couple of other things. So that is the border that we want to knock out and replace with quartz going all the way around the station. What we also want to do is we want to knock out the entire area inside of the quartz like this, replace it with stone bricks. That's going to take a long time. I won't be doing on recording. So once you've got your border, we'll fill that in with quartz. We'll destroy everything else inside this area, replace it with stone bricks. And I'll tell you what else you can do as well whilst you're at it. Inside of the police station, to progress onto the next bit, we're going to have to install floors. The police station has two floors. This ground floor, which is in line with the steps on the outside. So you can see where the steps are on the outside of the police station. It's like right here. Well, we want to fill the entire ground floor level in with stone bricks. You can see exactly where you've got to fill it in. You can see exactly where you've got to do it. You've got to fill in the ground floor. And we also have the second floor. The second floor is just above the entrance. So the space between the two sets of windows, the top of the ground floor windows and the bottom of the second floor windows, that is where the second floor is designed to go. So knowing all of that, you can now build the ground floor, the second floor, and you can also complete the outside part of your police station. And remember that that's where the two floors go, and we're going to fill in the rest of that little trench with quartz, and we'll knock out the center of this and replace it with stone bricks. I'm going to be back once I've done all of that. It's going to take quite a long time. So as you may or may not be able to tell, I have 100% fully completed the outside of the police station now. That means that the helipad's done, the car parking spaces are done, and the actual terrain around the outside of the police station is done. That's all filled in. Also, I have filled in the ground floor of the police station and the second floor in the places that I mentioned that you had to fill them in. So, once you have done that for yourself, because you should be able to figure all of that out for yourself, I've given you guys enough instructions to do it, we can now move on to the next bit. But if you are still working on that, pause that if necessary, press play once that's all completed, and then you can move on to the next part with the rest of us. So, what do we have to do next? We're going to complete the ground floor of the police station, then we'll move up to the second floor. For the ground floor of the police station, first of all, we want to separate the right-hand side of the station and the left-hand side of the station. We want to do this with a wall of block of quartz. It should be quite obvious to you where you have to place this wall. It's semi-obvious. I mean, you just want to turn this part into a big square. What we now want to do, once you've done that, is you want to, on the left-hand side here, directly next to the wall, you want to do a row of 1, 2, 3 polished andesite right next to the wall, knock out the two top blocks going to the right, replace those with andesite, do the same with the bottom two connecting down to the ground, and also destroy the two center blocks. This will give you access to the right-hand side part of the police station, which is it's basically just a tiny little cell block. So once you've got the door in, you can come into the cell block area. And the cell block area here is quite simple. So can you see where we have this window at the very end of this area? Well, take this quartz next to the window and go up this by 3 with your polished andesite. So starting from the bottom, we want to do a row of 1, 2, 3 polished andesite. We then want to go to the right by 1, 2, then connect down to the ground. We then want to have a row of block of quartz next to that door. Then we want to make another door. We want to have 1, 2, 3 andesite, extend the top one to the right by 2, then connect down to the ground. And then we want to have another row of block of quartz. We can then fill all the top area of this that we've made in with block of quartz, and we can also do this. We can separate the two doors with a row of block of quartz like this, so we can just separate the two doors with a wall between them. And we also want to do a row of quartz here. So what we've essentially done is we have made little cells. So these are individual little cells at the very end. There is a larger cell here. So the larger cell is actually quite easy to make. Can you see where you have this row of 3 block of quartz in between the two windows? Well, in the same line as we have the other doors, we want to have another door, like right in the center of that row of 3 block of quartz. So can you see what I'm talking about? We have this quartz door right in the center there, or I should say andesite door. And what we want to have surrounding this is just iron bars. So I don't know if you've ever seen in movies and in like TV programs and stuff, because obviously I've never experienced this in real life, or maybe not obviously, but just to let you know, I've never experienced being inside of a cell or anything in real life. But just from what I get from like movies and TV programs and stuff, like there's a couple of cells. There's like individual little cells for people that may be drunk or whatever, and like there's a big general populace cell, which is, I think, for more serious-ish crimes, or maybe I don't know what it's for. Maybe it's like this is where they'd throw like the drunk people, and this is where they'd throw maybe the more dangerous guys. Maybe somebody's, I don't know, ran someone over, so they throw them in a cell by themselves, and somebody's got a little too tipsy, so they throw them in with the little general populace of everybody that's done that. But the point is, those are two individual little cells. This is a larger one. We'll come back and we'll furnish this a little bit later, but that's the general gist of this little hallway. So coming into the larger part here, this is what we want to do. So starting this off, can you see where we have this window next to the door that leads us into the prisoner area? We want to take this andesite that's closest to the door, and we want to go to the right of it by one with your block of quartz, skip a block, go right, place a quartz. To the right of that, place an andesite against the door, then take the andesite that touches the quartz, and coming towards you, do it like a bottom right diagonal. You actually want to do two of them, like 1, 2. We then want to go right by 3 from that second bottom right diagonal, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 up right diagonals, 1, 2, and then we can just leave it at that. What we now want to do is, you know what, we can actually probably get rid of, can we get, no, that is a little desk area, and that is kind of like a, you've got to get through a bar to get to this. It's kind of like a wooden trapdoor that's going to separate the prisoner area from everything else. Well, what we now want to do is we want to make an elevator in the corner. We don't have stairs here, we have an elevator instead, just to be a little bit different. So, in the very back left-hand corner of this room, we want to, starting from the 4th block coming in, so this is like the back left-hand corner, and we want to find the 4th block. We want to find, this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to do 4 polished andesite coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll hit the 2nd floor. You then want to go right by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then connect that down to the ground. And then you want to do a wall of polished andesite that kind of just like sections off the elevator. What you also want to do is you want to fill the inside of this little elevator in here with andesite, because you want there to be the illusion that this is kind of like a, well, there's an elevator. You obviously don't want a window back here, and you can also you also want to give it a little bit of a door, and that looks like this, like right in the center. It's just like a regular door shape with your cyan stained clay, and that's perfect. That's kind of like an elevator, and we'll add some buttons and stuff like that to that later. If you want to, you can also like knock through to the 2nd floor. Since we've just done this elevator, you can knock through to the 2nd floor here, and you actually want to make the same thing on the 2nd floor. So on the 2nd floor, using the same dimensions and stuff, we want to start from this back left hand corner. We want to count in and find the 4th block. That's 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4th. And then we want to connect the floor to the ceiling with the andesite. We then want to take this top andesite, extend it to the right by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to connect it down to the ground, and we also want to connect it all the way to the back here. So we want to add a little bit of wall for the elevator. We then of course want to fill in the walls of said elevator, so we just want to cover up the windows essentially like this. And we also want to give the elevator a little bit of a door, like so. Now, we do have to build up a little bit of the floor here, just so that you can actually like climb up, and that'll look like this. Like you don't have to have like this whole section empty. You can have it pretty open like this, and this is how we're going to travel. We're going to throw some ladders back here, and that's how we'll travel from floor 1 to floor 2. But let's move back down here, and why don't we complete the 1st floor before we move on to the 2nd floor. So down here we have a few things to do. On the ground floor, we can get rid of all of these, and we can grab, in no particular order, we need some flower pots, some flowers, we'll need some bookcases, we'll need some trapdoors, we'll also need oak wood slabs, I should say, I apologise. We'll also need some brown stained clay, we'll also need some hedge, some jungle leaves, and we will also need some stuff like, we'll need like buttons, and we'll also need some levers, or levers, however you want to pronounce it. So, for the desk here, we want to place flower pots on each one of like the 2 diagonal corners of the desk. I keep placing them on the floor. Throw flowers in those flower pots. Then, behind the desk, we want to have a layer of oak wood slabs that is like in line with the 4 middle andesite for the desk. So, right here, we want to have like a bit of a shelf with our oak wood slabs. Above that, we want to have a bookshelf. The bookshelf is actually one wider than the shelf that we placed for just like the oak wood shelf. We want to place levers like either side of this door here, because this is going to be an iron door. We also want to place a wooden trapdoor just in front of, come on, we can do this. We want to place a wooden trapdoor in front of the door, just so it's like a little barrier to entry, like this. We want the same here for the desk, so on the desk we just want to have a little wooden trapdoor, just a little barrier to entry. Either side of the main door here, we want to have potted plants. These potted plants are very simple. It's quite simply brown stained clay, trapdoors all around it, with some jungle leaves around, or some jungle leaves on top of the brown stained clay. Make those as small or as big as you want. What we also want to do is we want to add some buttons on the elevator. So either side of the elevator, you can add as many or as little buttons as you want. I'll also do this on the second floor whilst we're here. You could also add them to the inside of the elevator if you wanted, for a little bit of, not that anybody can see them because it's so dark, for a little bit more realism. What we also want to do is add some levers to the doors for the little cell block area. So add some levers on the doors for the little cell block area. We now want to grab ourselves, what do we need? We need loads of stuff here. We need some iron doors. We need, what else? We need some carpet material. We just need some red carpet. And you know what? I don't think we actually need anything else. So, oh, we'll also need some red wool. That's right. Place iron doors on each one of these cells. There should be 3 of them here. And also place an iron door here to take you to the cells. Oh, I guess we should put a front door on the actual police station. So we're going to put some dark oak wood doors on the front of the police station, and we'll also need some black stained glass just above the door, like this. That's how we get in. We'll have to place red wool block like around the plants. So where you have placed the trap doors, obviously it won't let you place carpet around them, so you have to place red block. And we're also going to completely fill in the floor with our red carpet. Unfortunately, we can't do this to the second floor. We can't give the second floor a nice carpet because we'll have to destroy blocks in the floor, and if we do that, then that'll bleed through to this. So unfortunately, we can't give it to the second floor. So we're going to have to settle with the ground floor. I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back in just a second once I've completely filled in this area with carpet. So once you've filled this main area in with red carpet, or any carpet of your choosing, we can also add a couple of things to the little cells here. So I didn't actually think about this until just now, but the cells should probably have their own toilets and stuff like that. So to make those, we're going to be using stone bricks and some andesite. We're going to make them nice and ugly. We'll also need some blue carpet. We'll also grab some beds, and that'll probably be it. So like right in the corner, we're going to have like a toilet, and we'll also have one on the opposite side as well. It doesn't seem fair that there's only one toilet, although I'm sure that there would be. We'll also have a polished andesite here right in the center, and you know what, it'd actually be like right next to it. So we'll have polished andesite right in the center, and we'll also use some tripwire hooks, and these are going to just symbolize like sinks and stuff, so that's what these are for. And we're also going to have a bed like right here. Where shall the beds go? There should be a bed, shouldn't there? So we're going to have a bed like right here in the center, and there's just going to be polished andesite around it like this. And this is like the general populous area. And for the other little small rooms, we'll be able to fit a toilet in here. And we'll also be able to fit an elevated bed in here. Plus, we'll also be able to... Oh, we can't. We can get one in this corner, though. We'll also be able to place a little sink. Although, you know what? The bed doesn't have to be elevated, what am I talking about? So the bed can go right there. And I don't know if there should even be beds in these, to be completely honest with you. But I don't know. I guess, why not? Why not? It's something extra to put in the room, so I guess there's no harm in it. So, there you go. You might also want to add a little bit of carpet around here. Maybe something a little bit dull and dreary. Maybe... What color could we use? You know what? Maybe not dull and dreary. Maybe we'll use some orange carpet around here, and we'll just have like an orange carpet like leading all the way down this hallway. Just keep it a little bit interesting. And you know what? I'm also going to, I think, add some carpet to the lift area. I think I'll add some carpet to the lift area again, just to separate like the hallway, so that like this is obviously the hallway. This is where the prisoners go. We'll leave that block empty, although we could destroy that and we could place something underneath. But this is pretty much the downstairs. If you want to, you can also light the place up. I'd recommend that. I'd probably do it just above each one of the windows where you have the lapis lazuli blocks. I'd probably just add some torches in front of each one of those lapis lazuli blocks. I'd do it not only for the for that side of the police station on the ground floor, but I'd probably also do it here where all of the cells are. Not inside the cells maybe, but definitely for the hallway. And that's the downstairs. It's pretty simple. We have a little reception area, we have a place to drag all of the prisoners, we have a place to put them, and we also have an elevator taking us up to the second floor. And if you wanted to, something that you might have in a police station that's only just occurred to me, you might have an area to wait in. It's a possibility that you'd have to wait, so maybe like we've got carpet down, haven't we? So there's an area that you may have to wait in, and you might just want to like throw down a little waiting area, maybe using nicer color woods and stuff than this, but this is what I'm using, and it also does fill up a little bit more space, so you may be asked to wait. This is a little waiting area, and honestly I think that this probably finishes up the room nicely. And if you wanted to, also you could add a couple of water coolers and stuff, so you could add like polished andesite and some regular glass block and some levers, and you could have like andesite, glass, and you could have like lever, of course levers, and we would also need some red wool as well. So I don't know, I think that finishes the downstairs quite nicely. Let's talk about the upstairs. Oh, and also, if you do want to fill in the lift, and we'll also need some ladders, if you do want to fill in the lift, pick a variety of carpet. I'll use yellow, because why not? Why don't we get some nice bright coloured carpet in here, and we'll have some ladders, and these will take us all the way up to the second floor. And when we make the helicopter, we'll actually need to break out onto the roof as well, so why don't I also fill in the second floor here with yellow carpet. So we're now on the second floor. The second floor is actually a lot less detailed than the first floor. There's not that much stuff up here, because I can't imagine that there would be in an actual police station. So on the second floor it's mainly officers and a little bit of a work area. So taking care of the work area first, we have two desks. To make these desks, we're going to use a wood. Let's use oak wood stairs, and we'll use dark oak wood stairs as well. We'll also need, do we need slabs? Yeah, we'll need slabs. So we'll need oak wood slabs, and we'll need like some flower pots to signify like pencils and stuff. So in this space, in between the windows where we have like the 2-3 sets of block of quartz, we want to place a dark oak wood stair like in front of the center block between the windows, leaving one space between the wall. We then want to assemble a desk, and this desk is actually quite easy to assemble. It's basically just an upside down oak wood stair either side of the slabs, and this is a little irritating to place. Come on, there we go, like this. And then we just want to place another oak wood slab here, and then another upside down one, come on, here, and here, come on, and here. And you may also want to add like, I don't know, if you can do this, you might want to add like a computer to the table. So maybe like an iron trapdoor, and maybe, I haven't actually done this in my original version, and maybe like a redstone torch and a quartz slab. You might just want to add like a laptop, so like a quartz slab here, and then we need obviously an iron trapdoor here, and we'll need, oh there we go, we can just add 2 of these on the corners. And you might even want to move that chair a little further backwards here as well, and here. And you might even want to build up the desk area. You know how cops, they always seem to have like really busy desks, don't they? They have like filing cabinets besides them and stuff. So you might even just want to make the desk a little bit busier. You might want to make it a little bit bigger, maybe like add a little bit of a border around it. And you might want to do the same for the opposite side. You might want to add andesite around here. Actually, an andesite wouldn't work around here. We could have it like this though, and we could like have the desks separate from each other, and we could add upside down oakwood stairs here, oakwood slabs here, and then we need something to grip the upside down oakwood stairs here. No, come on. So no, this is so difficult to place on stairs. Come on, come on. No, facing the other way. Okay, you know what? We're not going to use stairs as a block. So we're looking to place... There we go. That did it. And then we can just do polished andesite around. And then we can, of course, place a slab here. An iron trapdoor here. Redstone torches here. And if we wanted to, we could even have, like, little shelves around. Or maybe not. Or maybe just, like, books. Books might make sense, like, as files. Maybe, like, a book, like, here. And maybe, like, here as well. It might make sense. And maybe we just want to elongate that desk a little bit, and I don't know, it just makes it look a little bit better. Actually, it makes it look a little bit better than what I had planned. And I also designed to, right next to the elevator, I designed to have a, let me bring it up in the plans, a water cooler, which is perfect. So I designed to have a water cooler right here, so this is to polished andesite, and it's the same design as we have downstairs with glass on top of it, and then some levers like just below the glass like that. And I don't know, that just looks like a little bit of a water cooler to me. And then what I decided to do was I took out the block of quartz, but you could use other materials if you want. I don't know how good it would be, maybe some woods. And we have some offices. So one block away from the water coolers, on the right, coming out of the wall, we want to have a row of 5 block of quartz. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we want to take this row of 5 block of quartz, and coming towards the end of the hall that way, we want to do 2 quartz, then leave a gap of 2, put something there, so like oakwood planks, and then we want to have a row of 3 block of quartz, then a gap of 1, sorry, then a row of 4 block of quartz, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 plank, then 4 block of quartz, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, then connect that to the wall that way, and you then want to take out your polished andesite. And on the other part, we want to have like an andesite door. So where we have coming towards the front of the police station, we want to have an andesite door. So these are a couple of rooms. Like right on this end room here, we want to have, right on this end room, we have a, like the largest office, which is like where the, like, what do you call them, like head constable or head detective or lead detective, whatever, whoever the guy is that's in charge of the police station, this would like be his office. And then these 2 smaller offices here, these would be like just regular detectives or just regular, probably detectives. I guess police officers don't need officers, but officers don't need officers. But if you wanted to, these don't have to be made out of quartz. They could be made out of a variety of materials. Maybe some like dark oakwood planks on the corners, so you can see where they connect to the wall. We could use like dark oakwood planks instead, and then we could fill the center of the wall in here with some oakwood planks instead of like just dark oakwood planks. And we could also add some some glass just above the door here. And we could have a similar sort of deal here, so this is where another office would be, and we can just fill this in with planks. And we also want several doors, so we do want to have 2 different types of doors. We want to have dark oakwood doors, and we also want to have wood doors. So for the 2 smaller offices, just use oakwood doors. For the larger office, use dark oakwood doors, just to signify that there is a little bit of difference in the stature of the room, however you want to say it, in the quality of the room. We'll say that there's a little bit of difference in the quality of the room. And I think that this is a little bit nicer than brick, because there is and quartz. I think that it's a little bit nicer, and I think that it's a little bit better, and we can just instead of the quartz walls, we can, oh, we just knocked through down to the downstairs, and instead of quartz walls, we can have wooden walls instead, which I think is a little bit nicer. But keep that end wall, the one that's going to be in an interrogation room, keep that one quartz, because that does want to look a little bit dull. You know what we could actually add? Instead of an end office, that could be, you know how in like movies and stuff, how you can look in at people that's actually being interrogated? Maybe that's what that is. Maybe that end office is actually where people Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe instead of this, maybe like we use some, I don't know, some like light grey stained glass, and in here we have like light grey stained glass, and we have some like quartz on top, and maybe like we just watch people get interrogated from this room. Maybe that's what this one is, and if there's a way that we can signify that this one is different as well, maybe we could have like oak wood planks here, and we could have some other form of door. I don't know what door, like spruce wood door instead. Maybe like we look through this, and this is like you watch people get interrogated in there. And these are obviously just small offices. Like this is the largest office, and inside of these offices, I mean, you just basically want to have desks, and there's not much room for much else. So you just want to have some like oak wood stairs, and once again some dark oak wood stairs, and you'd probably want some slabs of some description, and like we'd have like a larger desk in this room. And it'd be like, I don't know, a little bit bigger than the other desks, and we can just add. Yeah, that's facing the right way. And yeah, we can't make it too much bigger, can we? These rooms are quite small, admittedly. That's this little floor. The rooms are a little bit small, but they don't need to be massive. And if you wanted to, you could add books on like one side of the wall just to make it look a bit fancier. And oh, maybe not. You could just add some books around the place just to make it look a little bit better, and maybe some paintings or something if you wanted to. So that's like the bigger room. And in this one, obviously, we've got an even smaller desk, so it'd be like a dark oak wood stair here, and maybe even like oak wood slabs for a desk instead of like a regular desk, and maybe just some books here on the ground as you walk in, and maybe like more here, and I don't know, just something a little bit different. And in this end room, you probably wouldn't have anything back here, or maybe you'd have something like maybe it'd be like a little control panel. So maybe you'd have like a TV or something. Maybe that's what you'd have. Maybe you'd have like a giant screen or something. I don't know, something here, and you could decorate it with buttons if you wanted to. So maybe some like buttons either side. I don't know. For the interrogation room, obviously, what do we want to have in the interrogation room? We want to have a big desk. That's all it is in the interrogation room. It's just a massive desk. We'll make it look a bit uglier. Some stone slabs, and maybe, why not some dark oak wood stairs? And we just want to have a table like right in the center of the room, and we're going to use andesite or stone for this because it's just to save us a little bit of irritation. So we'll have like a stone brick stairs here. And we also need some stone brick slabs just to make the edge of the desk. And the edge of the desk wants to come here, and it wants to come, where is it? It's here. So we want to have an upside down one here. Perfect. And then we want to have like coming to here's 2 blocks off of the wall. We want to have like this. Come on. And then we want to have stone brick slabs connecting to this, and then we want to have stone slabs in the center of this just to make it look a little bit uglier. And we just want to have enough room for chair on either side, or maybe you want, yeah, that looks fine to me. And this is the little interrogation room. And we also have to fill in this wall, don't we? We just have to fill this in with block of quartz, so that just looks a little bit better. And honestly, that looks pretty good if you ask me. And if you wanted to, you could add some iron doors, and you'd want some levers. So an iron door here, lever, perfect. And that is pretty much the entire second floor. I mean, there's actually quite a bit up here, to be honest, because we added a little bit more. There wasn't designed to be this amount of stuff. And also, if you do have a plan on building the helicopter, you'll just want to knock through onto the roof here. And you'll just want to make sure that you can actually get up here with some ladders. And that's all you'll have to do. So you don't have to like make an elevator that takes you onto the roof per se. Just make sure you can get up here. But you could make another portion of the elevator up here if you wanted to, despite the fact that there's very little room. And that is the entire interior complete, guys, actually. It's completely done after that. So why don't we take a little bit of a look at this. So let's imagine that you've came across this in your survival world. We see the police station, we're immediately intrigued, we see the police car outside, and we see the helicopter on the roof. We know that something interesting is in this building, so we walk all the way up here, we open the doors, and we see a waiting area. We see a nice little waiting area here on the left. We've got a chair, we've got a coffee table, there's some magazines, we have a reception, there's books, there's plants, there's everything. It's looking nice and bright and colourful here. Oh, police stations aren't that bad. We can get ourselves some water here if we want to. We can also, if we've been a bit naughty, we can get dragged through this area, through the trapdoor barrier. Somebody can crack open this door, and we can get thrown into either the general populace cell, or we can get thrown into one of our own individual cells. I think I'd prefer my own individual cell rather than having to share, but you'd get locked in there. And coming up onto the second floor, which is where we're going next, let's have a bit of a look. We push the button for the elevator, ding, opens up, and we get magically taken to the second floor, and we can just close the door if we want to. We notice that we have a couple of desks. We have two policemen's desks. We have one on the left hand side here, one on the right, with some laptops, and it's looking pretty nice. And we also have another water cooler here just in case we want a drink. We have like the chief's office right here if we have some really important business to take care of. We have like a detective's office right here. It's a little bit more cramped. And we have it why am I stuttering? We have an interrogation room right at the end of the hallway here with a scary looking desk and a pretty scary looking room. Imagine that that's mirrored. And we have, if we want to, a place that we can observe the interrogation. And if we want to go and have a look at the roof, we also can, because there is a set of ladders here. So we can come all the way up to the roof, and we see that it has a helipad and a helicopter eventually. And that's pretty much all you can expect from the police station. We also have a nice board going all the way around it. We have some hedges. We also have some car parking spaces. It's all quite lovely, and that is a police station. It's actually really, really nice, and I think that the interior is really good as well, to be honest with you. I think that the interior fits with it nicely, and I think that it all works well very, very, very nicely together. So hopefully you guys really like this video. Hopefully you've managed to do it yourself, and if you have, please drop this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out. I'd really, really appreciate it. I honestly would. Subscribe if you haven't already. We do loads of things around here. Not only do we do like police stations and libraries, as you might be able to see in the background, and we can't actually see anything else surrounding us, but I do statue tutorials, I do pixel art occasionally, I do all sorts of buildings, I do vehicles, I do anything you might imagine. Request it down below, comment, let me know. What do you want to see me make next? I do take your suggestions into consideration. Also, check out the card system or the description below for my police station and soon to be police car, police helicopter. All of those things are going to be in there. Thank you very much for watching. Like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. Check out the card system, the description for all of my police related builds, and I'll see you guys in the next video.